Alright, today we are back testing out some more Pinterest hacks. I did a part 1 to this where I just took a bunch of hacks I found on Pinterest and tested them out myself to see if they actually worked. It was pretty fun and I had a lot more hacks to test out, so I decided to do a part 2 to test out some more hacks to see if they work. And even if I fail at testing out some of these hacks, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't work. I could mess up and not do them right, but it's still fun to test them out. And for some of them it might mean that they just don't work, but it's still fun to test them out to see if they actually work, or they don't work, or I just straight up fail at testing it out. Alright, let's go test out some more hacks. Alright, for the first hack we're going to start with something easy. This is the tinfoil tab hack, which I just learned about. I never knew that there were tabs on the sides of the tinfoil boxes. You're supposed to press them in and it's supposed to keep your tinfoil roll from coming out of the box every time you try to get a piece of tinfoil. So I tried this, I pushed the tabs in and it didn't work at first. It just made the tinfoil get stuck and then it popped right out. I had to put it back in, take the tabs back out and try it again, and the second time I tried it, it still got stuck but it didn't pop out. So I will say that this hack does actually work. This next hack is to help prevent your cords from getting frayed. By taking a spring from a pen, you're supposed to wrap the spring around the frayed part so that it doesn't continue to fray, or if you just want to prevent it altogether by wrapping it around the end of your cords before they get frayed. But I had a little trouble with this because springs from pens are very small, so I had to stretch this out quite a bit. I got wounded a couple of times by stabbing my finger with the spring because it was sharper than I anticipated, so I got wounded a few times. But I ended up taking some wire cutters and stretching it out so that the spring would fit easier around the cord, and I was able to get it wrapped around the frayed part, so this hack does work. This next one is a hack for threading a needle by using a toothbrush, 2 needles, and some thread. So the idea is to use the toothbrush to help push the thread up through the eye of the needle, and using the second needle to kind of also help the thread go through the eye of the needle. I tried this several times and it didn't work at all. I could not get the thread through the needle at all, so I ended up just threading it myself. So this hack was a fail. Next we have the battery test hack. So this is a hack to test your batteries to see if they are fully charged or not. You do this test by dropping your batteries on a hard surface, and if they don't bounce, that means they're fully charged. If they do bounce, then they are not fully charged. I tried this with a couple different batteries and none of them ended up bouncing, so I guess they're all fully charged. I will have to say that this hack does work. Next we have the packaging tape hack. This hack is to help you from getting your tape unstuck when you can't find the end of your tape, or it just won't come up off of the tape itself. You're supposed to take the little plastic tab on the end and push against the tape, and it will help you find your tape and get it unstuck every time. For me, it ended up ripping the ends up a little bit, but I was able to still get the tape up from being stuck, so I will say that this hack does kind of work. This hack is the hack that I was most excited to try in this video. This is the DIY label making hack. So you can print off any labels, anything that you want to label, so just print off anything. I decided to print off some art supplies so that I could label all of my art supplies, and then you cut them out, put a piece of packaging tape over top of the cutout piece of paper. Then, taking a warm bowl of water, you're supposed to dip each piece into the water and leave them submerged in the water for about 30 seconds. Then after about 30 seconds, you take it out of the water and just rub off the paper. So this is where I had some trouble and my paper started ripping. It was not sticking. The ink letters are supposed to stay on the tape and the paper is supposed to rub right off, but that did not work at all for me. The paper just ripped and came right off. The letters did not stick onto the tape and the tape was no longer sticky once it came out of the water. So I tried it again and the same exact thing happened. So unfortunately, this hack did not work and it was a fail. This hack is for taking some cold butter that's straight from the fridge and melting it to room temperature. So all you have to do for this one is to take a glass of water and heat it up in the microwave for about a minute. Then after you heat it up, you dump the water out of the glass so that the glass is warm and heated up. Then you place your stick of butter inside of the warm glass and just let it sit for a couple minutes and let it heat up the butter to room temperature. I don't think that 1 minute is long enough to heat up the water. I think probably 2 minutes would heat it up a little bit more and make the butter melt more to room temperature. Mine was still pretty cold after waiting for several minutes, but this hack does work. This next hack is for retrieving eggshells that you have gotten into your cracked eggs. I didn't actually get a shell, so I had to break off a piece and put it into my egg. But you're supposed to take your broken shell and use that to scrape the eggshell out of your bowl and out of the egg. It does work. Can't believe I didn't know about this hack sooner. It's so much easier than using silverware where the eggshell just slips right off. The eggshell catches it easily and it comes right out. Next we have the plant hanging hack, and this hack works for hanging any kind of plant that you have. So I'm going to be demonstrating this with my little cat plant. You're supposed to use rope for this, but of course I didn't have that. So I'm using an old sweatshirt string that I had in my craft cabinet for some reason. So this is very tricky. I'm not going to try to explain all of the different loops that you're supposed to do. Hopefully you are able to figure it out as you watch me demonstrate this in the video. I had to try this a couple of times to get it down, but this one does actually work. I think it would work a lot better if you use rope instead of what I'm using, but even as I'm using this, I was able to work for the most part. So I think if you use what you're actually supposed to, this hack would work a lot better, and you can use it to hang any kind of plant. So this is a really good hack. If you have any plants that you want to hang, definitely try this hack out. This one for sure was a success. The next hack is for sealing any kind of plastic bag, like a chip bag, using an iron. So I'm using this bag of chips to demonstrate. It was only half full, so I just cut it down a little bit. You're gonna just take some parchment paper to put that over the plastic, obviously, so you don't melt it. And then just using an iron on low heat, going over it a couple of times, and this is supposed to seal the bag back together like it's brand new. So the first time I tried this, it didn't seal at all, so I tried it a second time and went over it a little bit longer. And this time it did seal the bag. It melted the plastic a little bit and made it shrink, but it did fully seal the bag. So this hack does work, kind of. Alright, and the last two hacks are both claw clip hacks. So this one, you're supposed to put your hair in a ponytail and then tuck it underneath and only pull it up halfway. Then pull up the bottom and secure with the claw clip. This one is really cute and I did like the idea of it, but it didn't work that well in my hair. A lot of pieces were sticking out, so it's not my favorite, but it did work, so it was a success. The second claw clip hack, you don't put your hair in a ponytail. You just kind of take the clip, grab your hair with it, twist it around, and then just tuck the ends up underneath. So this one, your hair isn't 100% secure, but it does look super cute, and I did like it better than the first claw clip hack, so I will definitely be using this one probably a lot now, and I'm glad that it worked in my hair. So this one was a success. Thank you so much for watching. In my Pinterest hacks part 1 video, most of the hacks ended up working and only a couple of them failed. But this time I had about half of them kind of work, but also not fully work. And a couple of them did actually work, and then the rest of them kind of failed and didn't work. So it was kind of a mix today. The hack that I was most disappointed about was the label making hack. I really wanted that hack to work so that I could use it to label all of my craft stuff. You know, I was going to use that in an upcoming video actually, and because it didn't work, now I have to see if I can tweak that hack a little bit, or figure out a better way to make it work. So I was really disappointed with that. My favorite hack that did actually end up working is probably the plant hanging hack. I have the proper rope to use to actually hang it. I just used something else, and I think it would work a little bit better if you actually used rope, because you can use it to hang any kind of plant that you have. So I think that's pretty cool, and I'll probably use that hack a lot. Lots of other helpful hacks that did work, or sort of kind of work. So I would definitely recommend trying out some of those hacks. And let me know down in the comments what hacks you tried and if they worked for you. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye!